Greetings and welcome to a new video about analog electronics. We continue with our second example about the inverting amplifier. In this specific case, we will look at the T network and also see what the advantages of this specific network configuration. Of course, we'll look at our calculations step by step and also verify these in SPICE simulations. So let's look at our example. We have the circuit given. You can see the T network here and also the op-amp. Op-amp is again considered to be ideal. We have a couple of resistors, the load, and also the four resistors here. The Vs is a volt source here. The DC voltage source is also given here the values. So the values are shown here, and op-amp is ideal, and we would like to calculate the following. Calculate the voltage gain, which is the load voltage over the source voltage. That's the load over the source. So we have this. And we have also load voltage itself, the value. So we get first the expression for the gain and also its value and also the load voltage. Now the current also in the C, the final one is the current delivered by the op-amp IOP. So we have this collection of questions. Now before we move on, let's look at our first conditions. The solution says always in this kind of circuits, determine the condition of the circuit. The condition of the circuit will be determined using the op-amp configuration, because we have here negative feedback and this V plus and V minus must be equal to each other. And since V plus is exactly ground, that means V minus is also ground. So due to negative feedback around the op-amp, you will have V plus is equal to V minus. But since V plus is exactly 0, V minus is also exactly 0. And this is then the virtual ground. And we will see virtual ground is very important characteristics or let's say behavior of the circuit to work out the analysis much easier. We also have the following, which is the ideal op-amp characteristics. One of them is the input impedance, which is infinite. So we have infinite input impedance. So the currents entering the op-amp, I plus and also the I minus, is 0. Both of them are 0. That's also really handy in our, let's say, ideal calculations. First one is the voltage gain, which is the load voltage over the source voltage. Now we first write the circuit equations in order to get to this expression. But before we move on, I will designate the nodes X and also the node T here for this T network. And again, use a node voltage analysis, because that is, I think, in my opinion, the most convenient way to set up the equations. Now, before we move on, also designate the plus and the minus signs for each resistor and also the current flow, always from plus to minus. You can see it for the I2, for the I3, and also for I4. So 4 resistors, and also the load has its current orientation. This is a very important step, by the way, for every circuit analysis or design. So do this first and then move on. Now, if I look at node X and I set up the Kirchhoff's current law, KCL at node X, I can see the following. I1 will split in I2 and I minus. So this is entering and producing I2 and I minus. But we know I minus was 0 because there is ideal op-amp here. So we can say I1 is equal to I2. Now we can use Ohm's law for the current, because the current is equal to voltage over resistor. So for specifically I1, we can say here V1 over R1. And for I2, I can say V2 over R2. Now, V1 is this voltage node minus this voltage node, which is shown here, Vs minus Vx, over R1. And for this voltage, I have Vx minus Vt, that's shown here, over R2 will give you the current. But we know Vx are both 0 here for 2 Vx's. So we can simplify this expression and say Vs over R1 will give you minus Vt over R2. And if I now write this expression in terms of the Vt in terms of the rest, so we can get minus R2 over R1 times Vs, and it will be then our equation number 1. So this is sort of the basic inverting amplifier expression going from the input all the way to node T, and you will have this expression. Now let's move on and also develop the Kirchhoff's current law at node T, at this T network. KCL at node T. You can see the I2 is entering and I3 and I4 are leaving this node T. So I2 is producing I3 and I4. So this summation will give you I2. Again, we will set up the equations using Ohm's law for I2, I3 and I4. And we'll do voltage over resistor, voltage over resistor, voltage over resistor. What do you get? Now, Vx minus Vt, why? Because Vx minus Vt is this voltage, and Vt is just this, because Vt minus ground is actually the voltage drop across R3, but since ground is just 0, so we can say just Vt. And we also have Vt minus VL for this voltage across R4, and you will have all the expressions in terms of voltages and resistors. Now we know Vx is 0, so we can again write this in this form. Now we have our second equation. What we now do is, since we want the V load over V source, we also want only the V load and V source in our expression. So if I look at this expression, I also have Vt. So I need to replace this by another expression, and we have this. This is equation number 1. So if I say substitute equation number 1 in equation number 2, I can then replace this Vt here by this expression. So you see a minus sign here, also a minus sign there. That's why we don't have this anymore. So we have a plus here. Again, you place it here and also there. So 3 places will be then replaced by this expression, formula, or equation number 1. Now we have this. Now, if I now also simplify this, because I can divide out the R2 here in the left side, and also R1 can be then placed in the denominator, and also here in the denominator, and also place this R4 here for the VL. Now, after a couple of steps, you get this expression. What you see is now we have the Vs and also VL and a couple of resistors, exactly what we wanted, but still not the final form we wanted, because we would like to have VL over Vs and a nice expression for the, let's say, the gain. Now, if I now place these two first term and the second term on the right hand side to the left side, I have done everything of Vs. If you now collect them together and also make the ratios, and after a couple of steps, this is not really that difficult, I get then this expression, which you see is the following. It is minus R2 over R1 again, which is the basic inverting amplifier voltage gain expression, but times the coefficients. That's due to the T network. So you can see 1 plus R4 over R3 plus R4 over R2. So this R4 will definitely make the gain larger if possible when you set, for example, R2 and R3 and R1, for example, at specific value. And if I now add all the values here given in this example, I will get exactly minus 14. So this is now the result for question A. Now moving on to question B. So this is the result for question A. Load voltage is now really easily calculated, because this voltage here, due to this source voltage with this gain of minus 14, can be then given by this expression. So you can say load voltage over the source voltage is minus 14. That means load voltage is then equal to minus 14 times Vs, and you will get then minus 28 volts. So once you have done question A, question B is really straightforward. Question C also requires here the current. That means we also need to set up the Kirchhoff's current law. So Kirchhoff's current law says the following. The I load here is produced by IOP and also I4. So you can see that. Now, we need to have an IOP. That means IOP is equal to IL minus I4. And again, we set up here the equation for the currents in terms of voltage and resistor using Ohm's law. So we can say VL, load voltage over load resistor, this current, and also the VT minus VL, which is then also this voltage drop across R4 over R4 will give you the current I4. So we have now the expression, but we don't know yet what VT is. We know what VL is, that's from question B. We also know the resistor RL and R4, but we don't know VT. But we know from equation number 1, from the previous discussion, that the VT was given by this expression. Now, if I now substitute the values given here in this example, I will get exactly minus 4. So now we can say, let's substitute everything we have now. And be careful of the minus signs, because we have a minus sign here and also a minus sign of the VL itself. So we get a plus here. So if I do the math here correctly, I will get minus 86 milliamps. The op-amp will now deliver this minus 86 milliamps. Okay, now collect these 3 results, A, B, C, for this example. Let's also look at the simulation results. This is the circuit I have prepared in the SPICE simulator. You can see the ideal op-amp, the current arrow here for measuring the current in this branch, and also the voltage pin, and also the resistors, and also the input voltage Vs, which is this battery. You can see exactly minus 86 milliamp as calculated for question C, and also the load voltage is minus 28 volts. And also this node T here was minus 4 volts and also verified here in the simulator. What you also can do is get more information from the circuit is producing a table of results. So you can see here, for example, that VP underscore minus is a very small voltage here. That is actually this voltage. We said in our discussion that due to negative feedback, the op-amp makes this ground node or this V plus exactly equal to V minus. So this is actually shown here. Since V plus was 0, V minus was also considered to be 0. If I look at this, is minus 2.22 times E times 10 to the power minus 16 volts. Now, I think that is very close to 0. That is also the proof that this is indeed a virtual ground. Now what you also see is here the VL node, which is minus 28 volts, and also this IOP, this current will give you minus 86 milliamps. So everything is now verified in this simulation results. We will check shortly in the actual simulator that how to generate this and also the results here. But before I move on, I would like to make a comparison between the inverting amplifier circuits using the basic and also the T network, and so you see what the difference is, because this was the circuit we have discussed in the example number 1 for the inverting amplifier, and this is a circuit we have discussed now in example number 2. So what is now the difference between them now? For example, if you have a design problem and you would like to have amplify a voltage source of 2 microvolts with 100 ohms here, and R2 is not known, the load is known, and you would like to have a gain of minus 10 to the power 6, which is minus 1 million. Now, what is then the required R2? Now, we know the expression for the voltage gain for this circuit, which is minus R2 over R1. Now, if I now substitute the values for the gain and also the R1, I have for R2 is equal to minus the gain times R1. That means 10 to the power 6 minus times 10 to the power 2 will give you 10 to the power 8 ohms, or R2 must be 100 mega ohms. That's quite large. Could be the case that this is not practical. So this is maybe a problem, probably in most cases a problem, and also due to looking at noise, for example, analysis, this is also not really handy to have a really large value. So can we make this better? So is there another configuration that will give you the same gain but with much smaller resistors? Now this T network will be then now discussed. Again, same voltage source, 2 microvolts. R1 is still 100 ohms, but I will now have R2 here of 100 kilo ohms, R3 400 ohms as in the actual circuit for this example. R4 is not known and the load is still 500 ohms. So again, we would like to have the gain of minus 1 million. So what we have in this case, now the gain expression for this circuit or the inverting amplifier with the T network was given by this expression. If I now substitute the values here for this specific, so 10 to the power 5 means 100,000. If I get the R4 from this expression, will give me 398 kilo ohms. So almost 400 kilo ohms, or 0.4 mega ohms. So it's much smaller actually than the resistor we need for this basic configuration. In the T network we have a much smaller value. So in total, T network requires much lower resistor values. This is also, in terms of noise performance, much better circuit than this basic configuration. And we will now prove that this is indeed correct also in the simulator. But let's also look at the simulator result and then move to the actual simulator. So this was a value with the circuit, and we would like to have this gain, and this is the circuit in the simulator, and this is the circuit in the simulator for the T network. What you see is exact same voltage source, 2 microvolts, 2 microvolts. You get that the V load 2 volts and also 2 volts, minus 2 volts of course due to the inversion. And you also get approximately the same current delivered by the op-amp. So everything is exactly the same, only the resistor for here is 100 mega ohms, so it's quite high. So the improvement in the T network is that the resistor values are much smaller, but still you get the same performance in terms of, let's say, the voltage and the current. And also the noise performance is much better than this circuit. Let's see this also in the actual simulator and also discuss the let's say the circuit in more detail there. So let's now jump to the actual simulator and also discuss the details there. All right, we are now here in the simulator. Actual circuit we begun for this example. You can see the 100 ohm, the 200 ohms, and the 400 ohms, and the 800, and the load of 500. Now I would like, and this is the 2 volt for the V source, and this is the gain we have, or expression for the gain for this circuit, voltage gain. Now let's also do the analysis. You go to analysis, DC analysis, and do the calculate node voltages. That means actually produce the results for the meters you have in your circuit. If I click on it, you'll get minus 28 volts, exactly as we had. And also this minus 86 milliamps, also what we have calculated. And also this VT was minus 4 volts, also verified here. So this is verified. That's the nice. You can also do the following. If you're interested in specific element here in the circuit, you can click, for example, on this one with this pen, and it will be highlighted in red. It will give you the volts and also the current for that specific element. What you also see is the R1 here is 200 milliamps, so the current flowing here. But for R2 is also 200 milliamps. That means current flowing here and there, exact same. That means the current flowing in the op-amp must be 0. That's also the proof of the infinite input impedance. Another one is using this pen, you can also check the voltage at this node. So click on it, you can see this minus 2.22 times 10 to the power minus 16 volts, very close to 0. And actual ground was here. So if I click on this, you can see exactly. So that this is physically ground, so 0, but this is very close to 0. So again, the proof of virtual ground. Okay, this is the original circuit of this example. For the comparison, we also look at the basic circuit and also the exact same circuit, but then some slight changes with this R2. And also the gain we like to have was minus 1 million. So we have calculated R4 was approximately 398 kilo ohms, or approximately 400 kilo ohms. If you make it root, let's say rounding off. If I now do again analysis, DC analysis, and go to calculate the node voltages, you can see the following. It is again giving 2 micro, you can see 2 microvolts, 2 microvolts for each circuit. I will produce minus 2 volts for each circuit. So what we get is exact same. But the problem is, for the basic circuit, basic inverting amplifier, I need to have for the R2 this resistor of 100 mega ohms, which is quite large. And here the collection or the summation of all the resistors I require for this job is much smaller, approximately, let's say 500 kilo ohms, approximately, much smaller than that actually. And this is already way over that, and it is 100 mega ohms. So you can see they also produce approximately, or deliver approximately the same current for the op-amp. So there is not much difference in that. It is the only difference here, which is a very important difference, is the larger the value we require for the circuit, so for the resistors. And that's also in terms of the noise performance for this basic circuit is not that good. For the T network, we'll get a much better noise performance. Alright guys, this is the second example about the inverting amplifier using the T network. I also compared this T network with a basic inverting amplifier to see what the advantages of using this circuit are, also in terms of the required resistor values. And also in terms of noise, which is not the scope of the discussion of this example, is also already has a better performance. If you have any questions, comments about this example, please let me know. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. In the description of this video, you can also see the playlist for the analog electronics and also other videos which you can find on our channel about DC electric circuits to get more about the basics of electric circuits. Don't forget to like and share these videos so that we can reach more people for these interesting topics. Thanks for your cooperation. See you next time in another interesting video. Take care.